Vihaya kamanyas sarvan mamstarati nispraha nirmamo nirahankara sashantim adhigacchati. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, and who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. This is the killer verse. Summarizes what state we need to reach very soon. Given up all desires for sense gratification, lives free from desires. One is given up, the other is no desires also. Then all sense of proprietorship, no sense of I and me, devoid of false ego. I, me, mine doesn't exist. The only I exists is I am a servant of Krishna. No other I, me, mine, and no desires for sense gratification. Your own can attain real peace. To become desirelessness means not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna conscious is actual desirelessness. To understand one's actual position as the eternal servitor of Krishna without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself, please note this, claiming material body to be oneself, and without falsely claiming proprietorship over anything in this world, is a perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. Without claiming proprietorship, oh my God. From childhood, we teach children. Whose cycle is this? Mine, mine, mine. So from young age, we are taught proprietorship. You own stuff. This is yours. This is not others. Now we have to give up all that training that we got from childhood, from, so many lifetimes we've been trained in this proprietorship business. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows that because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be used for the satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna did not want to fight for his own sense satisfaction. But when he became fully Krishna conscious, he fought because Krishna wanted him to fight. For himself, there was no desire to fight, but for Krishna, the same Arjuna fought to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for the satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. But we have to be very careful here also. Like we will somewhat force fit our desires as Krishna's desires. Meaning it's not there, but we will try to give some reason. Somehow, this is for Krishna. Somehow. Like somebody might say, okay, I'm buying a house. Why? In case some devotees come, then they can come and stay here. Then if somebody asks, okay, then must be that, you must be getting devotee guests every day. No, once in 6 months. Once in 6 months, why are you investing in a house? So this is simply force fitting, right? So, but here it is saying the desire for satisfaction of Krishna, which is approved, which is authorized. We are not abolishing desires, but we should not also artificially create desires and artificially try to connect it to Krishna consciousness. The living entity cannot be desireless or senseless, but he does have to change the quality of the desires. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Sri Ishopanishad. Therefore, he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything because nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to Krishna. I am just caretaker. This transcendental knowledge is based on self-realization, namely knowing perfectly well that every living entity is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna and spiritual identity, and that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than him. His understanding of Krishna consciousness is the basic principle of real peace. Nothing belongs to us. And we are working so hard to earn stuff that we want to put our names on. Protect stuff on which we put our name as this is mine. So we are just wasting our time, right? And that is why Bhagavatam says that one should work only to keep body and soul together. But we are working to put stamp, put our stamp of our name on different things. So this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Then where is the sense of giving up proprietorship? Where is the sense of devoid of false ego? I, me, mine. And we also know that this is also the 10th offense. Keeping material attachment even after hearing so many things about this topic of chanting, which is I and mine. So this I and mine, we cannot make progress. We will be stuck in this material world. Because Nama Japa will be on the platform of Nama Parada. If we are chanting on the platform of Nama Parada, then what is our hope? No hope. So we have to get over this I, me, mine. Yeah. Last verse of chapter 2.72. Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Sitva Syamanta Kalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richyati. That is the way of spiritual and godly life. What? Last verse. After attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. One can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once within a second. Or one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Khatwang Maharaj attained this state of life just a few minutes before his death by surrendering unto Krishna. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. According to Buddhist philosophy, there is only void after the completion of this material life. But Bhagavad Gita teaches differently. Actual life begins after the completion of this material life, Brahmabhuta. For the gross materialist, it is sufficient to know that one has to end this materialistic way of life. But for persons who are spiritually advanced, there is another life after this materialistic life. Before ending this life, if one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. There is no difference between the kingdom of God and devotional service of the Lord, since both of them are on the absolute plane. To be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord is to have attained the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, there are activities of sense gratification, whereas in the spiritual world, there are activities of Krishna consciousness. Attainment of Krishna consciousness even during this life is immediate attainment of Brahman. And one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. Brahman is just the opposite of matter. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti means not on the platform material activities. Devotional service of the Lord is accepted in the Bhagavad Gita as the liberated state. Sugunan Samiti Tyaitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti is liberation from material bondage. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has summarized this second chapter of Bhagavad Gita as being the contents for the whole text. In the Bhagavad Gita, subject matters of Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. In the second chapter, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga have been clearly discussed, and a glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has also been given as the contents for the complete text. Thus, end the Bhakti Vedanta purpose to the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its contents. Okay. Okay, it is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Fact about that we are servants of Krishna and we have to simply engage in the service of Krishna, giving up our sense of proprietorship, giving up our false ego, giving up our material desires. It is just a matter of understanding and accepting this fact. And we can do it in 1 second or we can take millions of lives. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. So, if we are completely engaged in spiritual activities and not wanting sense gratification, then we have ended materialistic life. If one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. Now, at one becomes Krishna consciousness means conscious means not elementary, like not a preliminary stage of Krishna consciousness. He becomes Krishna conscious. That means that he doesn't have any material consciousness. And this is Brahma Nirvana, Brahma Bhuta. Then he has attained the spiritual kingdom. Then he is on the absolute plane. He has attained the spiritual kingdom. Attainment of Krishna consciousness even during this life is immediate attainment of Brahman. And one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. One is attainment of Krishna consciousness and one is situated in Krishna consciousness. So here Prabhupada is making a difference. If we have just come into Krishna consciousness and we have given up material activities, that is Brahman. And if we are situated in Krishna consciousness, that means that we have reached perfection. Then we have already entered into kingdom of God. Brahmi Sthiti means not on the platform of material activities. So the Brahma Bhuta is free from material activities. But perfection means entering into kingdom of God. Brahma Bhuta doesn't mean that we enter kingdom of God, because we might be free from material activities but without any sense of devotional service to the Lord. Then we might end up in Brahman liberation. So Brahma Bhuta is not everything. That is why Brahma Bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Only then we can actually get, Krishna is saying mad bhaktim. We can get real Krishna bhakti. Getting Krishna bhakti means perfection. Not initial, not neophyte stage. If you can achieve this even at the hour of death, you can enter the kingdom of God. Okay.
This Brahman Nirvana here, is it related to entering to Brahma Jyoti or?
Yeah. Yes. So Brahman, Brahma Bhuta, Brahma Nirvana. Brahma Nirvana basically means that just becoming free from material activities. But if we remain in that stage of not identifying with this material world, and we continue to live life like that, then we will end up in Brahma Jyoti. But if we develop Krishna Bhakti, then we'll end up in the spiritual kingdom, in Vaikuntha. Otherwise, we'll remain in the Brahma Jyoti. Okay. So this section of Bhagavad Gita is not talking about Krishna Bhakti, right? It's just talking about Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is Brahma Bhuta platform.
Okay, so that line where it mentions there, a person who's spiritually advanced, can you just scroll down? If one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahma Nirvana. That is entering Brahma Jyoti.
No, see, basically becomes Krishna. This is what, see, this is more clearly explained here. See, if we, if one becomes Krishna, if one comes to the stage of Krishna consciousness, knowing that he is a servant of Krishna and engages in the service of Krishna, then he actually is already achieved Brahman, right? Because he is not engaged in material activities. But we might not have achieved perfection. When we achieved perfection, which means that we are perfectly situated in Krishna consciousness, then we would have entered kingdom of God. So the basic point here is when we are in Brahma Bhuta stage, that is why that verse is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, that soul will become Prasannatma. He'll achieve peace, so he'll achieve satisfaction, he'll become happy. Na Sauchati na Kankshati. He is not aspiring for anything, nor is he lamenting for anything. Samasarveshu bhuteshu. He sees all living entities equally. Mad bhaktim labhate param. Then he will achieve my bhakti. So Brahma Bhuta is the initial stage to achieve love of Krishna. But without Brahma Bhuta, we can't achieve Krishna Bhakti. Right? So this Brahma Bhuta is this Brahma Nirvana, Brahma Sthiti, whatever you want to call it. It is a stage where we understand that we don't belong to this material world. This material activity should not disturb us. We become free from material desires. We become free from all proprietorship. We become free from all false ego. This is Brahma Bhuta, Brahma Nirvana, Brahmi Sthiti. Then we can actually achieve Krishna Bhakti. Without coming to this platform, we can't achieve perfection in Krishna consciousness. So, technically, this is like a intermediate stage for us, right? When we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we should definitely come to this Brahma Bhuta stage where things around us don't stop impacting us. We become indifferent to our material happiness, distress. We can remain fixed in Krishna consciousness. So we should also, as practicing devotees, experience Brahma Bhuta.
Yeah. Yeah, so Prabhupada's one lecture just came in mind where he says yogis perform this for millions of years and but Krishna conscious devotee through reading and understanding in the preliminary stage only he gets to understand.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else has any questions? Okay, so second chapter covers all these topics. Mainly just summarizing first section of the second chapter. First part is Atmagnan. I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, and many verses dedicated to that topic. And from there, Krishna moves to Buddhi Yoga. He moves to Karma Kanda, where he talks to Arjuna about his fame, name, that he should do his duty. Then he moves to Buddhi Yoga, and he talks about mainly bhakti. Prabhupada mainly talks about bhakti, while other acharyas have talked about these verses with the lens of karma as well. But Prabhupada talks about Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Naya Vikramanashosti, everything with respect to bhakti, engage in bhakti, single pointed attention, then give up all abominable activities, which means activities of sense gratification. And then he comes to Karma Yoga, saying that do your work as a matter of duty, and you only have the right to do work, but you're not entitled for fruits. And that is verse 47. Then what happens after that? Verse 47. Give me a minute. Yeah, then then again, Yogastha Kuru Karmani. And then he says, okay, what is the benefit of devotional service? That one becomes free from all reactions. And many great devotees have achieved this, and they have achieved the state of, state beyond all miseries, which is basically Vaikuntha. He glorifies devotional service. And then he talks about Sthita Prajna. After devotional service, then he says, okay, one who remains fixed in this trance of self-realization, he has achieved divine consciousness. So what is this trance of self-realization? So then there is discussion about Sthita Prajna, symptoms of Sthita Prajna, how he speaks, how he walks, how he sits, etc. And finally, there is discussion about how, just our senses can engage us in Jayata Vishan Pumsan, we get stuck and we fall. And then there is the fact that we have to experience a higher taste and restrain senses from their objects. And then the final summary of how we have to give up all sense of proprietorship, devoid of false ego, etc. So multiple aspects to work on for devotees, like practical application. So you can all please make your own notes and try to apply them, because if we, I mean, second chapter is so critical. Each pretty much there are lots of instructions. If we can try and apply these instructions in our life, then we will make significant progress in our bhakti. Okay. Anybody has any questions?